tuning in to the online broadcast network, Afterbuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. Afterbuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We sipping bottomless mimosa. Pour me another dose. It's 10 a.m. we party.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're tuned into AfterBuzz TV for Empire Season 2. I am your host, Bamm Ericsen, and I would love to introduce the panel.
Hey, everyone. I'm Sofia Stanley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kennelia.
What's up, guys? It's Emile Ennis Jr.
And joining us via Skype, she plays the character of Carmen. Please welcome Yanni Marin to AfterBuzz TV. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Good. So we're going to go right into your storyline. So the girl group, the Menage a Trois, and there is some issues that are going on between Laura and Carmen. Laura, the lead singer, and Carmen, who I assume is the background singer, being that the other girl came and replaced her. So do you guys, what do you guys think about this whole thing about now all of a sudden Carmen now all of a sudden wants to have more shine?
I wouldn't call her a background singer, because I mean, people in a girl group, like, you know all the members.
and also too, I think we also forget it's a brand new group, so there are no solidified roles.
Yeah.
So if anything, this is still kind of the rehearsal, if that makes sense. Like, we're still really figuring out who's who. They've only had one performance, so when they were performing, Carmen was like, "Well, I'm coming for this spot," and obviously was so good that Cookie basically, without any further conversation, was like, "Yo, move Carmen to lead. She's a star. Laura is not. Keep it moving."
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Team Cookie all the way.
I can go both ways, but for me, I think I blame Hakeem for not setting the rules. I think he should. What? Yeah, he should. You're performing like. I don't believe that Carmen would all of a sudden just bump her in the middle of a performance and there not be any riff prior to it.
That part I agree with.
Yeah.
As far as being professional and understanding what you are on stage and how you look, just think about it. When Michelle used to fall all the time, you stay in the pocket. You don't bump nobody. You don't get out of the pocket. You stay focused on what you're supposed to at the time, and once the performance is over, then you address and say, "I think I should be the lead." But while you're performing in front of people, you just knocking her out, she flicked her ponytail in her face. That, to me, that was out of line.
She did it on purpose, though. Michelle didn't do that on purpose.
I know I'm trying to keep it PG, but see, I want to make a what's the movie Showgirls?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I want to make a Showgirls reference.
Jesse Spano?
Yes, Joe, it's real out here in them streets, even if it's dance streets. So at the end of the day, if she wants to earn her position, she's going to earn it however she can. Yeah. If you can't hang with a bump and a whatever, and you can't draw the attention back to you, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
But you see what happened to Effie?
I mean, I totally feel you all, and I'm a team player, and I know, like with the show, obviously it's like creating the drama and all that, but I just feel like we haven't really been established as a group, and like you said, like, who's the lead? It could be anybody, but like, us trying to be equals, and I just feel like I was a little bit fed up because I really didn't feel like she was performing to the best of her ability, and it wasn't really so much about like, yeah, of course I want to be in the center, I want to be the lead, like, who doesn't? Either one of us can be, but it was almost like, if we're going to take this group to the next level and we're going to want this audience to love us and embrace us, we need to give them our best. And for me as a character, it was more about like pushing her, you know what I mean? It wasn't so much as like trying to say that she's whack. It was like, no, I know you're better than what you're doing right now, so let me show you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yanni, I have.
So that's why. What's up?
No, you
continue. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So like that's why at the end, I go back to my place. You know what I mean? Because then I was like, oh, okay, all right. Now you got it. You know what I mean? Like, now I believe you. Now I can be your backup, or like, you know what I mean?
You can be her Kelly.
I felt like up until that point, like, why am I just gonna sit back and let you be kind of like mediocre when, you know, I have the confidence and I have the moves, you know, like, you're not showing us that you got that. So until you do, then why would I respect you? Or why would I be like, that's my girl, I'm gonna support her, let's do this together. You know what I mean?
For me, it came off as your character being a little salty, being that the other girl was in the group before, and then she was replaced, and now Laura's here, and now this girl is obviously being pushed to the forefront. It seemed as if your character was throwing shade, and also the fact that you have all these bloggers who are videoing, so they're not gonna focus on the great song and the hot girls and the overall performance. They're gonna focus on the pushing and the elbow. You know what I'm saying?
You know, behind why I did it. But also, like, it kind of sucks that just because Hakeem's trying to holler at her, like, why does she have to be the lead? You know, like, they can still be in a relationship and she ain't got to be the center girl. You know what I mean?
I personally think why can't they both sing lead? I mean, obviously, if Lauren is the alto, clearly you must be the soprano. So why can't you sing in groups? It happens a lot.
In Vogue, it was like that. In Vogue, there was no defined.
As far as vocally, I totally agree, because at the end of the day, like, we're all in the studio, we're all recording, we're all doing harmonies, and it's true. In a girl group, one person does the first verse, the other person does the second, and if there's another girl, she does the bridge. But for some reason, you know, it's been labeled as her being the lead, and she's pretty much singing all the verses and taking over like the lead part. We're just kind of singing backup, like you said in the beginning. So, I mean, it's a little, like, of course we're gonna get fed up, and you know, on the show it happens rather quickly because we don't have a lot of time to like develop, you know, that tension between us. You know, you guys have kind of seen us together very sporadically, I feel. So this was the moment where, you know, I had to take my moment, and I felt confident enough to do it. And whether I was gonna get some shade from it or whatever, I feel like I made my point, and hopefully things can change now. You know what I mean? Now maybe we'll be equals.
I think you just dropped the mic like 3 times. Excellent. Excellent analysis. No, I've completely switched how I'm thinking about it. It makes perfect sense. And I love the fact that you're basically saying she needed to prove to you that she was a leader. And once she did that, you could follow. But prior to that, she was not. And at the end of the day, like, this isn't kindergarten. This is real life. So you were like, this is my life. This is my career. And you were like, either you step up or I step up. And that's what happened, is that we got a better product all around.
And we all know that singing isn't the only thing. You have to be an entertainer. There's some bad singers out there, but they know how to entertain.
Well said.
I'm gonna jump on because I'm really if I was Hakeem, I would have fired you. But my point in this is if you go back to the early girl groups, you think about Diana Ross and the Supremes, and basically Carmen is Diana Ross because Florence Ballard used to be the lead singer, and it was Berry Gordy who said, no, it's Diane. That's what they used to call her back in the day. They were like, no, it's Diane. Diane is going to be the lead now, and then boom. So if Cookie had her way, which she was kind of acting in a very Berry Gordy way, Diana would have just been the lead and moved Florence, aka Laura, to the back.
Right. So therefore, Carmen would not have gotten fired. She would have gotten promoted.
Oh, I'm saying I personally, because it's just I see a mess.
Well,
coming.
Team Cookie
No, she left.
would have promoted.
She left, and they replaced. No, she got fired eventually.
So let's talk about you really quick. How did you get cast for this role?
I was in LA and I got called like on a Monday, and my manager was like, hey, you know, they're looking for this girl to be a part of the girl group. And I was like, for Empire. And I was like, oh, you know, they're probably gonna get like a celebrity. Like, I haven't done any huge acting, anything on TV, you know what I mean? So I was like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna get this. But it would be a great opportunity, and like to meet the casting director and to, you know, work with these sides, and like they were so cool, and I was gonna get to sing and like show a little sass. So I went in and I had the best time, like literally my best audition ever. The way, meaning as far as like how I felt leaving the room. But I called him and I was like, I had so much fun. I think I killed it, but like, it's Empire. Come on. Like, I'm not going to get on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then like 3 days later, they were like, you know, I just wanted some feedback. So I called my manager. I was like, hey, have you heard anything? And he's like, actually, we've been in negotiations like all day long. I'm like, what? I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I didn't even know what that meant. I'm like, what, negotiations for what? Like, I have to go back for a callback? They were like, no, like, you're pretty much one of the girls. Excuse my dog. Yeah, so it was insane. It was insane. I literally, that was like on a Thursday, and like Friday morning, I signed my contract, and the car was like waiting for me to take me to the airport.
Oh my gosh.
It was that fast. Yeah, it was so fast. And it's been great, and it's been wonderful, and I've had an amazing time, and like shooting out there in Chicago with Taraji and the girls, and everyone's brilliant and wonderful and gracious, and I've learned so much, and I'm so inspired, and just a huge blessing and a great learning experience, and like who knows what's gonna happen after this, but I've been having a blast, and I'm happy that like my first big, you know, TV gig, I've been able to use my, you know, my dancing, which is my background, and my singing and everything. Like, I've been able to do it all, so it's been pretty freaking cool.
Nice. Are you? Do you have any, as far as singing is concerned? Are you trying to pursue a career in singing, or is the singing something that happened along with the acting?
Yeah, actually, I did Broadway for a while. I did 3 Broadway shows before like transitioning into like acting.
Oh, wow.
So I've always kind of been like singing, you know, off and on, but I never really thought about like being a singer, you know, like recording an album and like going on tour, like none of that. So my main focus was like transitioning from like a professional dancer, singer on Broadway and like dancing with artists to just like straight acting. Yeah, so it was just like shocking, you know, because like I was so focused on like strictly acting, and then Empire comes along, which is like the biggest show on TV, and like, you know, it was kind of just a blessing to be able to incorporate like all the things that I have done in my past as well, like as my new passion of acting and like all that. Okay. So yeah, as far as singing, like I never thought I would pursue it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then one final question: how many more episodes will we see you in, or are you not allowed to say how many more episodes we'll see you in?
I can tell you that you will not see me again before the winter finale.
Okay.
But I will be back in March 30th, after March 30th.
Awesome. Okay, and let everyone know where you can be found on social media.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Yanni Marin, and Facebook Yanni Marin. Yeah, I'm around.
Well, you have an absolutely amazing infectious spirit, and you are obviously a rising star. It obviously isn't just your character Carmen; it is also you, Yanni. So thank you so very much for coming in the AfterBuzz studio.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been awesome.
Thank you, and we'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, AfterBuzz. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so now
I think I need to get a Team Carmen T-shirt.
Really quickly before we move on, any final thoughts about Laura Hakeem, the performance "I Will Survive" out in the downtown? Any final thoughts?
It was a great moment. Mm-hmm. It kind of, but at one point, me just looking at everything from a funny standpoint, it was kind of like making the band and Diddy. I was like, and she was Sarah Stokes. So I was like, is she gonna get cheesecake? It felt like he really was trying to put her through each individual test. The photo shoot with the camera, the iPhone, and then the singing. But she passed, and now they're in love because they kissed passionately outside, and all is well with the world.
I just couldn't get past people just stopping all of it. I can see if it was like a slow, all of a sudden, oh, you hear that girl? Oh, that girl. But they're supposed to be in New York.
They stop sometimes if you're jamming.
Because they don't know what's going to happen. Like they don't know if it's going to be a smash mob or you know what I mean. Like you actually don't know what's going to happen, so they might. And I feel like because we all want to be in the know, especially with our cell phones, sometimes we're just recording just to record.
I don't know, guys.
People stop, especially those people who are designated in subways on subway platforms who are like there's like an organization that you have to be amazing in order to get certain spots. Oh, you stop all the time. It just depends on the artist.
Though.
Yeah.
She was on some stairs.
Let's be real.
One thing.
This is going to sound really random and it's ancillary. I actually really like that Soraya helped.
Oh, that was a cute moment.
Do you know what I mean? I thought it was a cute moment because initially when she was like, "Oh, get the water," like there was a moment when like Soraya rolled her eyes and I thought she was going to go a different way with it, and then she was like, "No, when you get anything, the way that you walk, the way that you move, I like that because I think it shows that Soraya is not in competition with anyone, and that it really is a collective, and it was girl power." So I really like that.
I liked it, but I did not like it because I felt like that was a waste of time for a series regular. For her to be in that one little scene to help her with the walk. I didn't particularly care for that, but when I was watching Laura perform, I thought to myself, I don't feel she should be a part of a group. She is purely a solo artist.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, good point.
This is her introduction, like Beyonce, and then.
But that was the '90s where the girl groups were well, anyway. So, yeah, let's move forward. Okay, let's go to Cookie. Let's go to Cookie Laws and Summer Jam. I just have one question, then I'll let you guys go in. You have a sexual tete-a-tete with someone for a long period of time. You tend to notice things that you may had noticed when maybe a shirt was off or something. Like, I don't understand how Cookie and all those hours and hours and hours and hours of good sex that she not once noticed.
Because Hakeem never told her that his kidnappers had a ram or a steer or whatever the tattoo was on her back because he didn't tell them about anything. So only we know that, she doesn't. So of course she noticed the tattoo on his back, but she's unaware of the connection. Sorry, I said that really.
No.
For me, the tattoo just looks like a gang sign to me.
Not to me. I think without prior knowledge, without the knowledge that we know the inside information, if I saw a tattoo, I wouldn't be like, oh, whoa.
And can I say something? I would say it definitely does not seem like a gang sign. I would say that would be the case 20 years ago. Now, like, doctors, lawyers, basketball players have full sleeves, tattoos up their necks. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like he had a teardrop on his cheek.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a cowboy symbol, and not for nothing, it's the cowboy symbol. I know that that's not what the symbol is, but the symbol is in fact the cowboy symbol. Maybe he's a football fan. That's all you're thinking. Number one. Number two, ain't nobody worried about his tattoo. When you are in bed for 2 to 3 days, the way that they were making love, boinking, the F word, doing it all over again, resting, eating. She had food delivered from her assistant so that she didn't need to leave the bed. You ain't finna be worried about no tattoo.
Well, if it looked like a prison tattoo, you are.
I'd get over it. 3 days, you might not be able to kick you out in 3 days, but not during.
What you got to say about the scene, Kennelia? I'm gonna go last because I'm just trying to see if anybody says what I'm gonna say.
Well, I think differently because as someone who sees humor and everything, they ain't go to the bathroom. She didn't use you ain't have gas. I look at things that way.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, she had the stinking. She put the same outfit on she had on 3 days ago. So I was looking at it that way. Okay, but he did give her the D.
You led into mine. The fluids were mixing over and over again. They were not showering. That bed stank.
No, it's stunk.
No, you millennials. You millennials. I can't even with you.
I don't care how good it is. It stank.
F that.
It stank.
F that. That's when you do the walk of shame with your head up, bouncing in the clothes that you left your house in 3 days ago. Like what, everyone? Yes, I just had sex, and yes, it was that good, and yes, I put on my lilac jumpsuit with the big grin on my face because Laz put it down.
She put those 3-day-old panties back on.
No, she wadded them up and put them in her purse.
And also, who's to say within 3 days that they didn't shower and then have sex again? They
ain't washed the sheets. You can tell they ain't washed those damn sheets. They ain't washed the sheets.
They didn't wash the sheets.
Okay, do you think that?
I'm sorry about it. It looked like it stank.
Oh my gosh, you guys are ruining my moment.
It was very hot. It was very sexy. So we'll agree to disagree with that one. But do you guys think that Cookie? Do you think the pillow talk was too soon?
Well, pillow talk happens even if it's your side piece. You pillow talking sometimes. So no.
But the conversation that they were having, do you think that conversation was
Specifically
her her telling Laz about Jamal and about the summer jam? No,
She's there for 3 days.
And he's working with her as far as promotion and concerts and putting things together. So she would talk about something like that with him because that's what he originally got hired to do. So I don't think that was out of place. No.
Yeah, and I think that not only was it not out of place, I think that he gave her really great advice. I mean, specifically when Jamal called and, he made that kind of cute remark about whether or not she has a husband, and I like how he said, actually, that's none of my business. But then he basically was like, Cookie, like, that's your son, that trumps everything. Meaning, of course you need to be there for him. It has nothing to do with business. It has nothing to do with whether or not Empire and Lyons Dynasty are in competition. You should always be there for your son as a mom who happens to also have musical or production experience. You can't separate or segregate the two.
I think you make a good point about some of the conversations, but for the fact that when she was getting text messages and she was hiding once he walked into the room, for me that showed a sign of I'm not fully comfortable with everything. So I just think that between letting someone in your house for 3 days and then he's snooping when you're in the bathroom, to me, you're saying that you don't fully trust this man, which you shouldn't. So therefore, after you have sex, have his ass get out of there and do what you have to do. I feel like there's somewhat of a small disconnect between the two. I'm not trusting each other.
And see, this is going to sound weird, and maybe it's because I'm one of those people that I am overly attached to my phone, and the majority of the time that I'm attached to my phone, it's work related. Like I do. When I'm here and when I'm not here, none of that is a 9-to-5 situation. So I'm literally always connected to my phone, emailing, drafting, so forth and so on. I don't remember when this last was because it's been a long time. However, it's truth. However, normally if I'm with someone, regardless of it's in an intimate situation or at dinner, I try not to look at my phone. So normally the minute he goes in the bathroom, I'm looking at my phone and I'm thinking like, okay, what do I have to get done? Okay, cool, send, yes, I'll respond. If he goes to the bathroom while we're in bed, I'm doing the same thing. And the reason being is, for the most part, people want to think that they have your undivided attention, number one. Number two, this may sound sexist, but even though men, particularly Laz, know she runs a company, men are still a little bit selfish and they're a little bit sensitive. So they don't like thinking that they didn't put it down so good that you're worrying or thinking about anything else.
Good point.
All right, let's now go into the day-days.
Oh my God, the day-days.
The day-days, a.k.a. the Goon Squad, the Traquan.
But why I feel like it's like a musical. The day-days.
And so Laz advises Cookie to not only pick the location, but to then hire the security. And then Laz reassures Goon number one or Day-Day Deshaun number one that we got this. I got this. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about me upstairs sleeping with the So and so they have the meeting. And what did you guys think about the meeting? I have some things to say, but what do you guys think about the meeting?
Why don't you tell us what you have to say?
Well, number one, Hakeem needs to pop Day-Day number one, Day-Day number two, Day-Day number three, and Day-Day's cousin, and Day-Day number two's brother, and Day-Day number three's baby mama. You need to wipe all of them out. The fact that you're in a meeting in his business facility, and when he walks in, you pull a gun out, you need to be dead.
Well,
just pop them off one by one, slowly but surely.
Well, to me, that's on Cookie. Because if Cookie is the street person that she claims she is, she wouldn't even be meeting with them in the first place. After she pulled a gun on somebody, after you pull a gun on somebody and point at their head, you can't be around them anymore. Business is done. So her still interacting with them, still doing business with them, still trusting them that they're going to do the job that they're saying they're going to do by patrolling the outside of the venue. Because right there alone, I'm like, okay, so they're not going to do the job that I'm paying you to do. I wouldn't expect her to believe anything that they had to say. So them doing that when Hakeem walked in and them being still cocky and arrogant around their family, that's on Cookie.
And
that's all on her.
Where are these brothers? Where are your security credentials?
you know how the goons be wanting to do side gigs.
This is like Diana Ross Central Park. I mean, this is huge. If you've ever been to a summer jam, no matter what city you in, it's an amphitheater. It's large. It's huge. These days and their homeboys do not have the. Go ahead.
Technically, Laz was like, yeah, that's why they only do the perimeter, because per New York code, the security inside has to be bonded. And i.e. bonded means that you're professional and you're licensed. So that's why they could do the perimeter, because in theory, it's outside of the park. I still agree with you, but theoretically, they actually touched upon that.
Okay.
But those are the type of dudes you don't want on the perimeter either. Because if you got a set of street dudes and apparently he is the gateway, the gatekeeper to this particular park, then he knows every Raheem, every regular old Randy in the neighborhood. So then you don't know if he's making side deals, who he has on his payroll. You don't know what this is. You can't trust people like that.
And it's funny, I can't remember if we talked about this on camera last week or off camera, but to me, there has to be a rival group. A rival group who may not theoretically have that territory, but wants that territory. So just kind of piggybacking on what Kennelia said, that if in fact Cookie is street, but more importantly, that she's strategically street, she needs to find out who that gang or organization or maymays are, fund them. I couldn't think of anything else, right? Fund them, like literally drop off like $100,000 or something and some like iron, and literally say, hey, I'm funding you to take over this group. Basically, whatever you need to do to take care of this territory, as long as like you know that I'm good, that's what she needs to do. Because do I believe that she needs junkyards or street dogs or whatever the term was? Yes. But just like Kennelia said, to go back to the people who kidnapped your son after you pulled a gun on them, what dude like that isn't going to want to get retribution? Like, you must not know how this works.
Well, we want to know what you think, and you can tell us by going to iTunes every single week, every day of the week, 24/7. iTunes. Rate, comment, subscribe, 5 stars. After you're done with that, go ahead and pop on over to YouTube. If you're watching live right now on YouTube, thank you so much. Hello, all of you emperors. Is that what they're called? I don't know if they have an official name. Anyway, Cookie Monsters, all the Empire Afterbuzz fans and Empire fans, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, make sure you do the same thing. Click that thumbs up, comment, and subscribe.
And whether you like to sip tea or spill tea, we've got a podcast for you, Happy Hour, where we always brew a strong cocktail. Happy Hour, a shot of conversation. Listen on iTunes.
So sexy voice. Sorry, that slipped. Cookie and Jamal. So Jamal needs Cookie's help, and so she sends him the song, and they meet secretly in the studio, and he sneaks away before Hakeem. Before Hakeem walks in, what do you guys think about Cookie and Jamal getting back together, working together for music?
I mean, it was perfect. Like, just seeing them together, and this is just from a musical standpoint, as we saw the evolution of the song over the episode. Granted, I understand it's for TV and it changes, but hearing Jamal at the beginning of the episode and hearing it towards the end, just how the nasal tone went away. We know what I'm talking about. Like, it was his songs are starting to sound the same, and now I'm seeing, they're doing that for the purpose of the show. There's a reason why. The fact that, and I don't know how to describe it, and maybe it's just the fact that you can tell Cookie genuinely cares about Jamal, not only as an artist, but as a person, as her son, as opposed to Lucious, who becomes salty as soon as he finds out Jamal is getting an opportunity before he did. It's just something about that brings out the good in them. It sucks that because of the rift between Lion Dynasty and Empire that they can't do this in public, but obviously it's going to come to head eventually, but for now, I like that they can work in secret and he can become successful because of it.
I agree. And let's remember, he was one of the only kids that actually fooled with Cookie the whole time when she was away. So they have a genuine relationship, whereas her and Hakeem are just now getting back together. They're just now becoming an actual son and mother. Andre, he was salty too when she got out of jail, and they're still kind of okay, but nobody had a relationship with Cookie the way Jamal did. So it was kind of like she got her friend back.
And not only that, but just musically, there are some people who work well together. You have Tim and Missy, Timbaland Missy. You have Timbaland and Justin Timberlake. You have Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Janet Jackson. So Lucious doesn't know the artist who he is trying to produce. You know, last week or the week before, they mentioned something, well, you are a gay artist. And he's like, no, I'm not. There's a disconnect, and that's why they can't create music, because as a producer, Lucious doesn't know what's Jamal's sound and fit.
Well said.
Or maybe he doesn't care.
Well,
Sabotage me.
and so let's discuss now the living room studio session with
Quincy Jones.
Quincy, Jimmy Iovine. It happens. This stuff like this happens all the time. Where in Hollywood, there's always these sessions. I worked one where Diane Warren was the feature person. So they brought all these artists and they were all singing Diane Warren songs, and you have all these Hollywood dignitaries that are all there and so forth. So stuff like this happens all the time. So if you have the opportunity to do this, it is freaking huge, especially when you are an artist of Jamal's caliber. And I thought it was perfect. And Lucious obviously knows that Cookie was a part of it. And so now, what do you guys think is going to happen now that he knows Cookie is a part of the song?
He's gonna be salty. I mean, Lucious is a jealous person in regards to music and opportunities that he may not have at the moment, because you see, as soon as he found out that Jamal had the meeting, he had that salty face behind Jamal's back. So I think it's just, to me, I think it's gonna, and maybe this is a prediction, it is, Jamal and Cookie are going to get back together, and somehow Hakeem is going to find his way back to Lucious, because we found before it seemed like they worked better together. So those two belong together. However we get there is how we're going to get there, but Lucious isn't going to be able to handle the fact that this man, the Quincy Jones character, basically said his sound is on a whole nother level, and Lucious knew that he wasn't the person that took him there. It's gonna work him too. It's gonna bother him too much.
Yeah, and just one more step, and that Lucious has never had that sound. So I think that's why it was so important for the first scene to be there, where, think about it, it's the first time we've ever seen Lucious in awe of anyone within a musical space.
Yeah.
So he was basically saying, like, basically the living room is the reason that you get plaques. Like, there's a direct correlation. And then basically even, he said, he's like, yeah, nominated but never won one. And then fast forward, the son not only gets in the room, but gets there not based on his father. I think it stings on multiple levels.
And there was a hint of how Hakeem needed to get the song within 3 weeks to be eligible for probably the Grammy or the award or for the plaque.
So I missed that. That's excellent. Excellent catch.
That's what I'm assuming. Okay, I'm just going to say this. Stop rapping, Lucious.
Okay, listen.
Well, is he a rapper?
Somebody pull up in the studio. Boom, 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 boom. That was
please.
hot. That was hot. Go ahead.
Y'all,
boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I used to feel like it's a Jamaican in us or something, because when he started getting that gun and doing like a thing with it, I was like, oh, you better come on.
To me, all that means is that y'all really like Ja Rule in 2001, because as soon as it comes on, I think of everybody that be living it up. You say, I think it's
we do need the engineer to drop the track for us. We'll keep talking, and hopefully he'll drop the track.
Boom, 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 boom.
Every time he's a lady. Boom, boom, boom.
But you know what it is.
That's what it is.
If it were, I can't.
Okay, well, why you composing yourself?
Oh my God, I sometimes forget that our listeners can't see us. Well, we are dying laughing because Kennelia just shut us all up. So we're literally on the floor.
That song, boom, 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 boom. It's the engineering booth. I need to hear it. I need to hear it. I need it to make my reference, people. Come on.
But also, too, if you're watching live in the chat room, let us know what you think. Do you think that Lucious should stop rapping forever? Or do you think that he has redeemed himself with Boom, Boom, Boom? Or do you think...
Okay, now make it...
Every time he's a lady. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm like ready to get up and get out of here. Wow.
Y'all are some haters. Haters.
Every time he's a lady.
Could I drop the mic? I can't.
You know what it is? I think we like the beat.
It is the beat.
It's the beat. It's the beat. Yeah, we like the beat.
The Jamaican in me likes the beat.
Yeah, same.
However, I can agree with you guys, and maybe Lucious doesn't need to do much more rapping because it was kind of.
Well, is he a rapper?
We don't know what he is.
Last week he was like singing.
Sing rapper,
He's like a
sex
T-Pain.
rapper.
Oh, he's like an old school Drake.
Oh.
He's like Ja Rule because Ja Rule
Ja
was
Rule
doing the
dates it.
Drake before
Yeah.
Drake. Every thug needs a lady, guys.
Okay, so let's go.
So it's
Lucious
Frida
ain't really that.
Lady?
Lucious ain't thug like Ja Rule. Lucious like a cross between Ja Rule and Drake because Lucious. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's go.
You know what I mean? Like,
let's go with.
Wait, what's Lucius? Do we remember? Let us know on Twitter. I can't remember. What is Lucius's real name?
Oh, Dwight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Dwight. And so now this is a perfect way. Now let's
Dwight.
go into the flashbacks. For me, the flashbacks are starting to wear my nerves. What? The
nothing.
Yeah, flashbacks are wearing my nerves. So
You don't like the flashbacks?
With
Yeah.
Kelly
Oh my
Rowland?
it's too many flashbacks.
Yes. I think it literally. I think it's moving the story along. I think that the flashbacks are so perfectly timed because it's letting you in on his psyche. Because there's no way for him to just be maniacal and evil without any reason. That's silly. There has to be a genesis. There has to be a time when he, at one time, in psychology was a child, right? Because all of our neuroses stem from when we were children, and why it is he now has grown into the man and or the demon that he is. I thought it was perfect timing, especially in relationship with the song Boom Boom Bang Bang, why we figure out why guns are so important to him and or so trigger an emotional response. I thought it was so relevant how they slipped in the owner of the streaming company, right? Because it really also showed, like, he's like, yeah, you're effing shallow. Which, again, we've always said it's like, snitch, bitch, whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I think he was realizing I have to connect to the real me. In the same way that I think Kennelia said, or I think, actually, sorry, Bamm, you said, Cookie knows Jamal. That's why she's able to produce him. Lucious cannot produce himself because he doesn't know self. If you've been running from who you are, then the only thing you can do is rap from a superficial level, i.e. this facade that you have created, but not the real man, the real person you are. We would never know that without the flashbacks, number one. Number two, Kelly Rowland is killing it.
She's killing as well, man.
Like, I literally don't, as she's on, I don't think it's Kelly Rowland. It's only afterwards that when I'm tweeting about it, I'm like, oh, I have to tweet Kelly Rowland. It's just an absolutely amazing actor who you're feeling the mood swings where you can feel what it must have been like to be a child. Every child loves their mom. And this is going to sound effed up, but your mom can beat the shit out of you and you still going to love her. And you're still going to take a bullet for her. It's just some weird connection that we have with that person who literally brought us into this world. To think that Lucious grew up in an environment where he wasn't hiding bullets because his mom was a gangster. He wasn't hiding bullets because his mom had to protect them from gangsters. He had to hide bullets because he had to protect his mom from himself? No star, that's sad.
She should really look into acting full time. She is killing it.
Y'all know what's messed up?
Could she do this the whole time? Like, when I'm watching this, I'm like, she could have been doing this the whole time.
No, she could definitely start acting some more, and she might get a Oscar before Beyonce does. She'll be salty. Y'all remember Beyonce? When Beyonce was on Dreamgirls and she did that list and there wasn't nobody checking for it, and then Jennifer Hudson got the Oscar.
She was all that
The
yelling.
shade. I need to find that reaction video again.
Let me.
I love Beyonce though. I do.
Right, because we spill a lot of tea.
Well, Lord. Let's go to Andre. So Andre was in charge of going to the deputy. What's the Rachel?
The assistant, the deputy mayor. The deputy mayor.
To bail Frida out of her injunction or something.
Her gang charge.
Yeah. I just have one question about this. What kind of spiritual leader is the guy who played Otis in The Temptation? What kind of spiritual leader are you to advise someone
who would ask people for a plane? Oh.
We Creflo? He's Creflo?
Oh, y'all taking it to Atlanta now. Don't get me started.
I could do that. I could do Jimmy Swaggart. I could do any of those evangelical, like, give me all your money.
Price.
Give me all your money.
With the
Like, we're
accent?
not yet.
Just
You
got
can
real.
tell I don't go to church. I'm sorry.
It just got
But I do
real.
watch it on TV. That's not true. I go to West Angeles and sometimes one church.
You just shut me up.
Well, no, but
That's a good. I mean,
No, and I'm going to take it one step further also too. To me, the verbiage that he used, because what he said is, he goes, "Will it help in your in furtherance of your goal?" right? So to me, then we have to ask, what is the goal? The goal is either that the pastor either wants Andre to control and her own empire, or worse, the pastor does.
Wait, no. I took it differently.
Okay.
I took the goal as, because remember last week or a couple weeks ago, I might be getting confused. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago when I was here. Andre was talking to, it was last week when I wasn't here. Andre was talking to
Otis?
No, what is Becky's boo? Becky's new boo, who's an artist.
J Papa.
And they found out they had in common the church. I think that the end goal is to somehow spin it into having some type of religious label affiliated to Empire, or infiltrating Empire to have more religious artists or something like that, so they can spread the message of God to the world. That's where I took it. However, I can see where you guys are coming from with greedy pastors who might have a twist on that.
No. I get that perspective, but from the perspective of him advising, not to go. He doesn't. So don't go sleep with the girl like you normally do. But now he says there's many other ways to accomplish what you need, and so then he goes and bribes her by showing video. It's two sins. It's both wrong.
Well. Yes, kind of. However,
kind of how?
I thought that when he said other ways, I thought he meant like you can just.
Yeah, I thought the same way that you did. I'm gonna be a grown up.
I thought you can. Like,
I thought it was gonna be. Thank you. I thought there were things like President Clinton was like, I did not have sexual intercourse with Monica Lewinsky. I thought it was one of those moves.
Yeah.
But there were still other things that you could do that would not theoretically be a sin of the flesh.
Well, can we talk about how Andre, it took him a conversation with his pastor for him to finally have sex with his wife? To me, that was weird. That was weird. It was like, so now that you had a discussion, now you can sleep with your wife? I'm over this.
Funny thing is, but you know what's worse is? He wasn't really sleeping with his wife. He was sleeping with the assistant mayor. Mm-hmm. That's what's worse. It wasn't even the pastor telling him to do it. It was that he got so worked up not having sex with the assistant mayor that he then literally couldn't control himself, and he knows that the only way that he could get that out is via his wife, which is a perfect segue. Let me think. I don't know her Twitter handle, but it's Mary Lou. We were tweeting today, and she asked the best question. She was like, where was Rhonda during the time that she left? Remember, they broke up. Okay. They broke up. He was chilling with Jennifer Hudson. She had completely left the home. Then she came back. Where was she? So Mary Lou asked me that question, and I was literally here like, I don't know, what is there so many storylines? I didn't even think of that. So then it got me thinking, not only where was she, why did she really come back? Because I'm not buying this whole baby bullshit, okay? Number one. Number two, just in terms of timing, when Lucious got out, I think it was either last episode or 2 episodes ago, he said he was inside for 4 months, right? We found out that Rhonda was pregnant before Lucious went to jail. Mm-hmm. So at minimum, it's been 4 months. I don't know that much about birthing no babies, but she should have more of a bump, or at least a little bit extra weight on her, number one. Number two, I would presume you can't be killing the treadmill or the elliptical or whatever the hell she was on as hard as she was going and be potentially more than 4 months pregnant.
Well, Charlotte was running on Sex in the City in the park.
Yeah, Charlotte was running. She needed that exercise to help her with her mental.
I think it's possible to run on the treadmill being pregnant, even 4 or 5. You know, I know people.
But like she was like looked like she was sprinting.
Well, she looked like she wasn't pregnant because she had that 6-pack. She had a 6-pack.
And see, the problem with that is I noticed that she had the long T-shirt, and the camera they only showed her from like chest up. So she's clearly not pregnant, and they know that, and that's why they didn't show her her body, because she's not pregnant. So she's wearing the baggy shirt as if maybe she is, but I think. And
we've never had one little scene where they're going to the doctor and a sonogram.
No, there was one at the end of last season. Remember when she found out, and then they went to the doctor, and there was like a little sonogram.
But, you are right.
But even still,
I don't know.
It just doesn't seem like she's carrying a child.
Yeah, and one other thing that actually is going to go directly opposite of what I just said. Also, it's possible that it's not his. So again, think about it. They were full-blown swingers, and I don't mean to be a grown-up, but I have to be a grown-up. For her to get pregnant with her husband, that would presumably mean that they weren't using medical contraception. So therefore, if they're sleeping around with other people, specifically wherever she went when she left Andre, there's a possibility that that is the father of her child, if in fact she is pregnant.
Or, I hate to go scandal, but remember when Melly said she was pregnant, and then when she made the announcement, then soon after, her and Fitz had to get pregnant. So when she said she was pregnant, I thought she was saying that to kind of ease his nerves for why Vernon's did, and so it's like, okay, now let's get pregnant.
Yeah.
But we have to now go into Cold Piece of the Week. DJ, drop it.
Cold piece of the week for this week's episode of Fox's Empire goes to Last for putting the D down on Mrs. Cookie Lyon. Again, like I said before, I looked at the scene in a funny way, but Sophia was correct. They were getting it on for 3 days, and for you to stay in bed, that funky ass bed for 3 days, he had to be really killing it. So for that reason, Last gets Cold Piece of the Week for putting that thing down. Let us know who you think Cold Piece of the Week should go to. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using hashtag Cold Piece, and Cold Piece goes to those sheets.
Thank you.
For being stank as hell.
Thank you.
For being stank as hell. So let us know who your Cold Piece of the Week is as well.
And now let's go into predictions.
Yes, for the sheets, Lord.
And now, your Afterbuzz TV predictions.
For me, first of all, this first one isn't a prediction. It's a want question to be answered. Where is my Caribbean sister, Grace Geely? I need Anika back. Where is Boo Boo Kitty? Where is she? We've been getting these tiny ass scenes. Yeah, one episode where she was in there for like a minute. Then she comes back begging at the door. Where is she at? Where's she at? Somebody tweeted that today, and I was like, oh shit. She wasn't in the episode at all. Where's Anika? I need you back. I need you back. The season's almost over, or the first half. Predictions for Cookie and Lucious. I think that it was you, right? Spot on. We said that they're gonna switch.
Oh, yeah.
I think that she's spot on with that. Hakeem's gonna go back to Lucious, and Jamal's gonna go back to Cookie, and I think that would be perfect. Jamal's career is about to blow up. I just feel it even bigger than before. And yeah, this was a solid episode. I'll give him that. This was a solid episode.
First prediction, I think somehow Lucious is going to try to sabotage Jamal because he's just a salty bitch. Second prediction, I think Anika will come back, but I think she's going to come back pregnant and by Hakeem, and it's going to then blow up Laura and his new relationship.
Oh, can I get a high five on that one?
Because Laura is this nice, wholesome young woman, and she's going to be genuinely in love with Hakeem, and he's going to be genuinely in love with her. But what better way to blow up and throw a wrench in the scenario is if this chick come back pregnant.
That's some
This is me sipping tea.
stuff for real. I can't. Not today.
That was good.
That was good. That was excellent. I'll just keep mine short and sweet. For Mimi to be afraid of someone and crying on the phone like that, we should all be very, very afraid.
Oh, Mimi, yes. I don't trust her.
I've always thought that she was trouble, but the fact that there's someone she's actually afraid of, that scares me.
And that threesome was creepy, by the way.
Oh my God,
talk about it online. Let's talk about it online.
It's like certain things you can't unsee, right?
I forgot about Mimi. Shady ass.
My prediction is somebody has to die.
Ooh.
And I think it's gonna be Adam Rodriguez. I think he has to go.
Oh well.
Is Derek Luke gonna kill him?
I don't know. Well, maybe. Well, let's let everyone know where you could be found on social media.
Well, I keep telling you to check out Happy Hour, and you're probably wondering, what is Happy Hour? It's like the after show.
It's
so
everything.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at @happyhour_TV.
And I'll piggyback on that. We talked about Vivica Fox. We talked about Real Housewives. We talked about Mizzou. We talked about Greg Hardy. We went in. You need to listen. Anyway, guys, I'm Emile Ennis Jr. You can follow me at Emile Ennis Jr. on all social media and Chasing LA on YouTube.
You can find me at Kennelia on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
At Sofia Stanley, Twitter and Facebook. At the Sofia Stanley on Instagram.
And you can find me on all social media. And also, again, don't forget that you can check me out in the James Bond video game World of Espionage. And I want to give a shout out to Janelle Harden at June IT718 for tweeting me that she actually got the video game. So thank you so much. Again, you can find me on social media at Bamm Ericsen. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to our special guest, Yanni Marin. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Bang, 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 bang. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.